Morning. Since we've started EWP development in '03, next will be CWP development, and the construction team will be responsible along with the EWP team for starting that development process. I wanted to, you know, go through '03 production mode and just go over some of um, the capabilities to give you guys an overview before you actually start using the tool. So I think today we'll look at login, we'll look at some of the tabs, the important tabs, EWP, CWP, drawings, models. We'll look at the model. We'll go into some detail on what the EWP, what's included in the EWP, what the responsibility for development of the EWP, and also we'll look at the same for CWPs. We'll look at some of the dashboards and a few other little attributes that '03 provides. All right, so first off, you'll have a user access. So once you have user access, you'll be sent a link, and you open that link, and then you will log in where it says log in with a work account. Okay, so this brings you to this. This is like just a standardized homepage. And if you're not on Rio Tinto Rincon, go here and choose it, but you probably will be automatically. Okay, so there's a lot of tabs over here, but I'm just gonna keep it simple and go through the ones I think are gonna be most pertinent for our needs at the start. So I've actually added these favorites already, so you can actually, I'll show you how to do that. So we go to engineering and you just click on the star. Okay, that will move EWPs up to your favorites, so you don't have to go navigate through here. And it's the same for construction work packs as well. We'll go to workface planning, IWP, same thing. Click on your favorites, CWPs, click on your favorites. If you haven't clicked on it, you'll see that the star is blank. Yeah, I clicked on Gantt view. I'll show you what that's all about. Drawings, same thing. Clicked on that, and I'm going to click on documents. So as you see right now, documents isn't in my favorites. I'm going to click on it. Okay, and there it is in my favorites. So we'll keep it, I don't want to overload you too much, so we'll keep it at that for now. So let's look at, we'll go through the tabs and I'll show you what they do. So if you click on EWPs, I've got some filters going on because I was messing around earlier. So I'm going to get rid of the filters, get rid of this. Okay. So what do we have? We have 801 EWPs loaded into '03, and this matches the EWP master index. So you can scroll down. If you scroll this way, okay, we've got all the dates, plan start, plan finish, forecast start, forecast finish, CWP plan start date, CWP plan finish date. There's a lot of dates there. And when we sit and go through the details of developing the CWP, we will focus on what dates we're actually going to be using. There's a lot of different columns you can add and take away. What I mean by that is, so this column chooser, if you scroll down, it's got a bunch of different options, like lots of different options. Once we get contract loaded in, the different contract numbers, you just have to slide that out like that. and then they're not in there yet, so they're blank, but then it will list the contract numbers by EWP. And if you don't want to call them, you just pull it back over and then you get rid of it. So let's have a look. So we've started actually, Monica's started like developing the EWP and absorption. So if you go to EWP status, I'm going to just get all my filters off. Okay, select all. You know, it's similar to Excel. It's identical. And then we'll go to in development and OK. There we go. So this 2101-001 is currently in development. And let's open it up and I'll show you what's a few things that are inside of this. Okay, so the summary, you go through. So Monica is the planner user, so you can choose that. Whoever's doing that chooses their name. This is pre-populated, as are the dates. Discipline is as well. And what, like I said, once we get contract, there'll be a drop down to choose from. A model, Monica's added a model shot, and this is from the model in 03, which I will show you shortly. The details, so she's added a description. This is won't be as long as the CWP description, obviously. There's a few drop downs here, so she's added the purpose. This is automated. Then she's added the area. And then let's go to development, because this shows you what the responsibility is for the development of EWP. We tried to keep it very basic, simplify it for engineering. So as you can see, long descriptions in progress, model shots in progress, document drawings review, that's open, and MTO attachment, that's open. But I know that she has actually, the drawings, she has looked into it. So we've seen this, we've seen the model shot. Now let's go to documents and drawings. So we go to documents. So what you see here are all the documents currently associated with this EWP and ACONNEX. Monica didn't have to do any of these documents. Are part of the API integration between O3 and ACONNEX, so it's automatic. Any document associated with this EWP number in ACONNEX will be populated here. And it's the exact same for CWPs. It's almost identical. Well, it is an identical process. So let's just go down, click on some drawings, quality docs. So as you see, it's blank here. If you wanted to attach, because they're called associations. So she's actually added associations, which is good. Let's go back to documents. Okay, so say you want to add, this is the EWP, so there won't be any safety or quality in here, but if you want to add safety, JSAs, or whatever you like, any HSE documentation, go to safety here. And if you click on the plus sign, it says add associations, and that's what you want to click on. And then these are currently the safety documents that have been, uploaded. And not just safety documents, like supplier documents as well. There's so let's just search for a category here. What kind of document do we want to look at? Let's click on bill of materials. Let's just click on a few others, see if they populate. Yeah, so there you go. So you can search by status, category, document type, description. And this has the same capabilities as column chooser as well. So you have lots of options as column chooser. It'll be good once contract is set up, because then we can just search by contract. I'm going to cancel that because I don't want to mess up Monica's EWP development. So for now, that's basically all the engineer has to do to develop the EWP. So I know there's been a lot of concern. Oh, when are we going to start? Are we behind? And it's valid, but if it once people realize or they see that the work's already been done as far as the documentation being associated in 03, the document status, IFC issue for review, that'll come along with it. And same for the MTO. So and the schedule, obviously, with the P6 integration. So the hard work, most of the work's been done. It's just a matter of going to 03 and, checking a few boxes, checking some documentation you want to add. And then, so once it gets to a point where the engineer is happy and wants to have it reviewed by the leader or engineering manager and myself, so I will definitely work with the team to review, the discipline team to review the first bunch of EWPs for each discipline. So you go, and obviously the construction team will review to make sure too that everything's there for EWPs, CWPs. And then when she's ready, you just click on engineering lead and AWP manager and the construction review. And these groups all have names. So we can review whose names are in the construction team and make sure all you are in there and get you added. So once that's pressed for review, you will get an automated email with a link. You click on that link and it will tell you and take you to this EWP or CWP for review. We won't go into review and approve yet. It's a lot to take in, so we'll just leave it at that for now. Okay, let's go to CWPs. Don't save any changes because that would mean we'd save changes within Monica's EWP. So the CWP list, it's the exact same as the EWP. Initialized basically means that it's just, the CWP numbers and data has been identified. The scope's been identified. So it's been initialized. We've got dates. And it's the same statuses: initialized, in development, ready for review, approved, issued, in progress. So once the work starts, once we have an IWP for a CWP and the work starts, it'll be in progress. When 100% of those IWPs are complete, it'll be complete and closed out. So let's just go into one. Let's do the same that Monica's working on. So you can search. That'll come up. I believe it was number 1. We'll click on that. Excuse my sniffing. Right, so let's go to development. So this is for construction. For your purposes, these are the 4 main development steps that need to be completed. So it's not a lot. And I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. I've got some samples. So your model shot, any HSE input, scope write-up. So this is the most important one, the detailed scope write-up. And obviously your ITPs and any other QA, QC input. Sometimes you won't have any HSE input at this stage because you're going to include it in the IWP. But if there is a general HSE document pertaining to the discipline, then you might want to add it, but it's not necessary. Any checklist you want to add can be manually added here. I wanted to show you materials. I'll go back to the EWP. I don't think it'll come up in this CWP. Oh, it does. Okay, so these are the components within the EWP. And same thing with column choosers. You can actually pull up object type, blinding, looking for volume, and I'm looking for weight. So you can flip through. Some of them won't have any data, but some will. So if you're looking for something specific, flip through. Like this won't have any data here. So then you don't need it, put it back. I'm not going to save it because we're not there yet. So yeah, it's pretty detailed. And then when these are added, it will show up in the export. Let's go to documents. It'd be the exact same as the EWP, but you can add more pertinent documents for safety and quality in the CWP, which are required. Let's see if there's any approvals. Nothing's been added here yet, but I'll just show you quickly how to add an approval. These are automated. If we need to have other people or groups to approve, we can get those added. Area manager. I had these added because they're probably the only two that are going to be required, but definitely the construction manager area. Maybe the construction manager won't be involved in approving all of them going forward, but definitely the first few, the area manager probably gonna have to approve all of them. As part of the procedure, the construction manager is only required to approve if there's a hold. So if it's being released as a revision with holds. Right. I think that's good for just a little bit of navigation within the EWPs and CWPs. IWPs, there won't be much info in there right now, if any, because nothing has been developed. Let's just go to the drawings tab. It'll show you all the drawings for the project. I've got it filtered out and just get rid of these filters here. And when I say all the drawings for the project, I mean what's associated with an EWP and ACONNEX. Right now, I know you're probably thinking, well, there's a lot more drawings in 1100 and ACONNEX. That is true, but we only pull the documents and drawings in the integration that are required for construction. We don't pull every document. It would just clog the system. There's documents that we don't need for construction. And that coding was done as per previous experience on projects. The team put together the list of coding that's required. If there's something that you see that's missing, it's not an issue. We can add that to the coding, and that will pull over from ACONNEX. So these drawings, like what we just we looked at in the EWP, those drawings come from this list. And it's all automated. And obviously you can see the status IFC. So one thing I wanted to should have touched on, maybe I'll go back. But for documents. So when you see, obviously Rev A issue for review, when you see a reserved, that's a placeholder. So we will have visibility on documents and drawings that aren't developed yet, that haven't started to be developed yet. The placeholder is key, so it'll allow us to visualize constraint or document constraints. Just wanted to show you that real quick. Okay, so let's we look at drawings. Let's look at models. We'll look at models. We'll spend too much time on it. It can get a little overwhelming, a lot of stuff. Where did they put the models? I thought I had it as favorites. I guess not. There we go. Model management. Yeah. Okay, so then I'll add it as a favorite. Okay, so now it's up there. There we go. Click on models. So I already had that absorption model filtered out. So here it is here. The navigation is very similar to Navisworks. Just takes a little playing around. You can move it around, fly around, very similar, as is the isolating. So if we want to isolate, say, just the absorption columns, it's just a shift. Okay. Exact same. Isolate all these columns. That's what we're releasing as the first revision. And we can even be over here. You can set some color. What do you want? Well, let's do green. Okay, and there you can have that as your model shot. And then if you look over here, these are all your activities and components. So if I click on this column here, it highlights right here. And then it can zoom in. You can move around and you see all the anchor bolts. You see every bit of the foundation. So it's pretty detailed. Zoom back out. Escape, and then you're back to where you started. Now if you go up here, model view, components view. So you got I listed the components. Back to model view, association type. So let's go to EWP. So as you can see here, there's the 4 EWPs for civil, for this concrete foundations in this EWP. Okay, now the colors here, so these show initialized, so they haven't been in development yet, and this one shows it's in development. So if we click on it, it isolates that EWP. And same for if we did the tanks. Well, it's only isolating that one. 1 second, get out of this for a second. Change. I must have done some. Anyway, it will show all the tanks highlighted. Let's do CWPs. It'll be the same as C tank area. Focus on just that one. Okay, association type. When there's IWPs developed, we'll be able to see that as well. So there's a lot you can do with this model. Let's go back to this foundation here. Okay. So say we're releasing just the columns and all the drawings associated and the documents associated in Rep 1, hypothetically. We can take this model shot right here and press OK. And then that will be a model shot attached to the EWP, and or same for the CWP, exact same method. I don't want to do too much here because I don't want Monica's probably playing around in there right now. All right, so what else? Navigation, we looked at that. That just takes a lot of playing around, but you guys are probably pretty good experts in Navis, so it won't be an issue for you guys. Yeah, okay, so we've looked at EWP, CWP high level. I don't want to overwhelm you, so why don't we go look at some dashboards? So I set this one up. This is an EWP release status dashboard, and I put just civil, so CC EWPs. We've got 177 EWP count, 0 approved, 1's in development, and that's the one we just looked at. So if I click on, and there are standardized dashboards, but you can also, personalize them like I've done here. And there's lots of, I can help you with that. There's lots of tools that we'll look at as far as a material for helping you. So if I click on 177, it takes me right to all those 176 right now because one's in development. 176 are initialized. And then we go back, dashboard. So there's lots of different widgets you can add. Once you add a widget, if you go into settings, then you can filter it and personalize it. So for this one, I added status does not equal approved. So we'll see what's not approved. And to do that, you just add a filter rule, select an option. For that one, it was status. So you go down to stat, well, probably won't show because it's already there. Oh, it does, so status, yeah. So add status and say equals, and say you want it submitted, approved, rejected. And then once you pick that, I won't do it because I've already got this set up. But then that data will show in your widget. So EWP development, it gives you by date and by status. So I did these, personalized these. So civil major foundation EWPs in 2101. There's 4 we just seen. So if you go to settings, this title, you can make it anything you want. And these are the filters that I added. So civil, EWP number contains, and EWP number contains FMJ. And I did the same for undergrounds. We have 1 in there. There's currently nothing entrenching in there. So yeah, so those dashboards can be very helpful. And with these dashboards, they update like automatically. You don't have to do anything once you've set up your widget. So as an example, currently have 1 EWP in development. If I went to another one of those EWPs and changed it from initialized to in development, this would show us 2 right away. It's good to, for reporting or just for your own, information to see what's going on every day. You go in there, you look, see what's changed. And I can help you to set up a dashboard, and then we can, the nice thing about a dashboard is you can share it with people. I think it's here. Yeah, so share dashboard. Okay, so Rincon, who do I want to share it with? Actually, I think you can go by user too. Roles. You can. I don't know why it doesn't have user here, but you should be able to. He's already standard system user. Then add share. And I think it goes, what's this here? Oh no, there it is there. Okay, user, add user here. So you choose users. Who is gonna be my, let's go with Craig. Actually, what I'll do myself so I can see, show you that it comes in. Should. System. Technical difficulty. There we go. Hey, here's me, choose item. And then you press save. So view only, which is a little about this. Once you receive it, you save a copy, and that will allow you to edit it if you want to. When you share, you should always keep it at view only, because what happens if you send a dashboard and you allow edit, if they edit the dashboard, it will change yours as well. So view only. So save. So that's been sent, hopefully. See if I get a notification. And I set up a CWP dashboard, CWP release dashboard, the exact same. But I added some text, so you can add text here, so you can separate by discipline. I haven't finished. So civil, this one here, civil CWP status not approved at construction start in 90 days or less. So it allows us visibility on any bus in EWP and CWP releases. Actions, share dashboard, print dashboard, dashboard settings, new dashboard. So you can just press this to create a new dashboard. There's your titles, dashboard scope. I would go project. Won't do anything with it, but just showing you. You can clone the dashboard, so you can if you get a dashboard you like for a discipline, so you can clone the dashboard and then go into each widget and just change the discipline. You have the exact same dashboard. I've used that quite often, actually. It saves you having to rework the whole dashboard again. Add. So here's the widgets. So there's so many you can add. You can even search. So for construction, all these here, and you can personalize them once you've added them. Engineering, same thing. Okay, now let's look at like a couple of samples of EWPs and CWPs. And then we'll do an export to see what they look like. Okay, so right now, this is a CWP from another project this year. This is pretty much what like everything we just went through as far as the work, the development steps. Once those are completed, we export the report. This is what it looks like. So you've got, all the data in there, CWP, CWA discipline. We'll go through everything because you can see it. Plan start, plan finish. You've got your high level description of the scope. Got your model shot. You can mark up your model shot if you want. This is the sign off list. We won't be doing signatures. We'll just be doing click approved, and then that will show up in here. So there's no downloading, signing, uploading the sign, none of that. Any constraints, so drawing on hold. So they release, if we release 2101 as a revised EWP or CWP, then the whole drawings will show up here. Any RFIs, this is the EWP, it's been approved. CWP scope of work. So this is where construction is going to be heavily involved, detailing the scope of work. More detail, the better. And then your design drawings list. There's the hold ones. Any other reference documents, standard and specs, any vendor documentation, and then your MTO, material takeoffs. And that's how it will look. Okay, let's look at that was a CWP. This is an EWP. Same again with the model shot. I believe this is Earthworks. Quite a bit of detail in the scope description for this EWP. So it looks pretty much, the same as a CWP, just a little content difference. Obviously, the EWP is going to have a lot more documentation because we just want what is required for construction in the CWP. Material takeoff. And I can share these examples.